But the news was just announced that WNBA TV ratings are down more than 50% since Caitlin Clark's injury. And it was also reported that the Indiana Fever television viewership is also down over 53%. Now, I know a lot of us were expecting some sort of dip since Caitlin Clark has been out with injury, but I don't think all of us were expecting the entire viewership of the entire WNBA.
The WNBA has entered dangerous territory, and the timing could not be worse. Reports confirm ratings are down more than 50% since Caitlin Clark's injury, while Indiana Fever broadcasts alone have collapsed over 53%. Everyone expected some sort of decline without Clark on the floor, but no one anticipated the entire league's ratings to crater so quickly.
Today, is there any chance that the WNBA, that Cathy Engelbert saw some of the ratings that I'm about to show you now and said, hey, Indiana Fever, can you do us a favor? Can you do us a solid? Can you just tease a Caitlin Clark return, kind of boost these up a little bit? Can you just dangle a Caitlin Clark return in front of the fans' faces, try to boost these ratings up a little bit? There was one matchup that this league could consistently rely on to produce massive viewership numbers.
The truth has become unavoidable. Without Clark, the WNBA feels like Netflix without Wi-Fi, unwatchable and irrelevant. Playoff numbers are falling faster than a phone battery stuck at 1%, and the league looks helpless as fans disappear. Executives now scramble for answers, wondering if people simply vanished or just flipped the channel to cornhole tournaments.
A shocker. Imagine my surprise. Just imagine my surprise when Uncle KC found out that the WNBA is struggling to maintain their ratings without Caitlin Clark. To make matters worse, and this is something I have definitely noticed in the last 3 or 4 weeks, especially since the All-Star game, the WNBA seems to be struggling to maintain interest.
Speculation grows that Commissioner Cathy Engelbert has quietly begged the Fever to tease a Clark return, just to keep viewers interested. It would not be surprising because the only matchup that consistently delivered ratings featured Clark. The WNBA framed this season as the breakthrough moment.
About Caitlin Clark, the operative word that comes to my mind is gratitude. There's an incredible level of gratitude that should be accorded to this young lady with what she did for this sport.
How was the attendance for Team USA in the Olympics? What would it have been like if Caitlin Clark was playing on that team? Remember the first game? Look at this right here. National broadcast viewership. What are we talking about here? 1,000, what is that? 1.219? Is that the number? And the game afterwards got 485,000. So the Fever and their game against the Minnesota Lynx was 1.219 million.
A time to prove it could stand next to major sports leagues. Instead, it has face-planted into embarrassment, slipping on nacho cheese and pretending it was part of the plan.
NBA's black superstars should thank their lucky stars. For the record ratings, Caitlin Clark is detonating, even if blue fans are mostly white fans. It doesn't matter what color eyeballs are. But the other day, I must admit, it hit me like Katie Bell Henderson telling me that's enough. I told myself it's not racist for me to like.
For longtime observers, the problem is obvious. Interest evaporates the second Clark leaves the floor. Since the All-Star game, momentum has collapsed. The league is not experiencing a rough patch. It is facing a catastrophic freefall.
The WNBA has a problem, and that problem is Caitlin Clark not playing in WNBA games. Now, what all does this affect? The ratings are plummeting. Guys, there's ratings for a couple of these games that are eye-poppingly.
The product itself is painful to watch. Injuries pile up like a surgeon's Christmas wish list. Referees look unqualified, and stars are treated as disposable crash test dummies. Casual fans tuned out as soon as Clark was sidelined, frustrated that her ankles became fair game for defenders.
That's not a trend that the WNBA is excited about. That's a trend that Cathy Engelbert would say, hey, Fever, hey, Lynn Dunn, hey, Kelly, hey, Amber, can you guys start dangling that Caitlin Clark return like you used to do? You know, before Caitlin Clark gave a statement and you guys were hands off. Can you guys, just string them along a little bit more? We want to get these ratings back up. We want to get these numbers back.
In a healthier league, fans would stick around for other stars, but the numbers reveal reality. When Clark faced Minnesota, the audience reached 1.219 million. The next game, without her, barely 485,000. That is not a coincidence. It is the entire narrative.
At Indiana, against the Chicago Sky, right after that game, they opened an investigation once again into the fans, where they found nothing, but the damage had already been done at that point. If some of these things happen just one time here and there, or there's one certain media personality who's just always saying these kind of things, then whatever. I feel like fans as a whole can be like, okay, whatever, this person is just a hater. But this is something that has happened over and over and over again, and over time, it starts chipping away at how much you're going to actually care and want to support an organization if they continue to do things like that.
Attendance for Team USA during the Olympics was lackluster, but imagine if Clark had been there. Eyeballs matter, and Clark brings them. Meanwhile, referees continue to ruin the product with inconsistency.
Caitlin Clark thing, man, I mean, it's embarrassing. It is embarrassing what you guys have done. And then people are catching on to your tactics. You got the people on Twitter catching on to your tactics. Like, look at this right here. Look at this right here. They said ESPN didn't want to show the ratings were down from WNBA All-Star Game because Caitlin Clark did.
One game, a shove into the scorer's table is ignored. The next, a light bump draws an ejection. If referees had a stat line, it would read 0 turnovers and 1 bad call every possession. Fans compare them to mall food court workers moonlighting in striped shirts, blowing whistles with pizza grease on their hands. Even Angel Reese, one of the league's most marketable figures, quit mid-season, walking away from the circus.
Rose. Well, how about this? Pay us what you owe us. That looks like a ham sandwich and some Lay's tater chips right now. It's getting bad. I feel bad for Caitlin Clark. She come out and said on Sue Bird's podcast that she's feeling the pressure of not playing in these games. And that Fever Sky viewership fell off the map.
Her exit symbolized everything wrong. Why stay when officiating is clownish, leadership is invisible, and injuries are ignored? Reese leaving was not just personal choice. It was a verdict on systemic dysfunction.
News and some bad news for those who are fans of pretend basketball. For those who are desperate to see the WNBA succeed, even though this dump of a league can't seem to get the hell out of their own way. Now, the WNBA, they refer to these people as fans, but the rest of us, we prefer to call them the mainstream media.
Clark herself admitted she feels pressure not playing, fully aware of the weight on her shoulders. Without her, the WNBA limps along, tweeting about growth while arenas echo with emptiness. This denial angers fans who see the collapse firsthand. Social media is flooded with demands for accountability, with Protect Clark trending constantly. Yet Engelbert insists the league is thriving, delivering PR spin while chaos unfolds. Calling this season growth is like calling a house fire new interior lighting.
You guys can sit there and say, oh, you guys are just trying to uplift one player. Oh, the league is more than one. I agree, the league is more than one player. It's more than one good basketball player. But is there more than one player that moves the tide? No.
Fans know better. The NBA protects quarterbacks like priceless art, while the WNBA lets its biggest star be body-checked into walls with no whistle. The hypocrisy is glaring. The commissioner's refusal to act makes her look like a substitute teacher who lost control of the class, smiling as the room burns. Players deserve protection, fans deserve consistency, but instead both groups get ignored. This season, marketed as the breakthrough, is now the definition of disaster. The excitement around Clark gave ESPN reason to cover highlights, debate matchups, and push narratives. Once she went down, the momentum died. Ratings fell, ticket sales cratered, and interest collapsed. Engelbert keeps smiling, but the facade fools no one. Every game looks more like professional wrestling than basketball, complete with tackles, shoves, and dangerous collisions. Fans expect referees to intervene, but instead they swallow whistles and laugh. The entire product feels amateurish, and casuals who tuned in out of curiosity have now left permanently. Meanwhile, loyal supporters feel betrayed. They invested time, money, and passion, only to be rewarded with incompetence and silence from leadership. The most alarming part is that Engelbert appears content to ride this disaster out rather than fix it. With Clark sidelined, ratings cut in half, and fans leaving, the league is collapsing in real time. What was marketed as growth is actually a glaring reminder of how fragile the WNBA truly is. The WNBA is stuck in a cycle of hype and collapse, season after season. By now, fans are asking themselves the same question: why bother? Why invest emotionally and financially in a league that refuses to learn from its mistakes? It's not because women's basketball can't thrive. Women's sports have shown they can draw huge numbers when run properly. It's because this league right now is failing to respect the game and its athletes. Without real change, every season will end the same way: injuries, frustration, declining ratings, and fans left shaking their heads. The sad truth is the WNBA had a golden opportunity with Caitlin Clark. She made people care, she made people watch, she made the league relevant. And yet the league couldn't protect her long enough to maximize the moment. They let her be battered, sidelined, and overexposed to the physical chaos. And now they're paying the price. The league is stumbling toward the finish line, fans are tuning out, and critics are labeling the season for what it is: an embarrassing failure. This isn't about hating the WNBA. It's about holding leadership accountable. It's about demanding better for the players and the fans. It's about facing reality instead of spinning fantasy. The commissioner can call this growth, but fans know better. Growth isn't empty seats, collapsing TV ratings, and stars quitting mid-season. Growth isn't referees who can't do their jobs. Growth isn't pretending momentum exists when it's clearly gone. Growth would be a season where stars thrive, officiating is consistent, and fans feel proud to invest their time and money. Until then, the WNBA is stuck exactly where it is now, limping, stumbling, and wasting the best opportunity it has ever had. And unless it changes, this same conversation will repeat next year, and the year after, until there's nothing left to save.